Okay, hey. So, okay, I have something so exciting to share to you, and this is okay. I need to calm down, but I'm very passionate about this. Okay, this is about love. This is gonna be about love, but it's also about self-development and self-improvement, self-care, and all that. So, and community. Okay, so what I'm gonna eat first. I don't even feel like eating, but I just want to yap. But I ordered this thing from the Australian place again. It's a Melbourne roll and some chocolates because I need some magnesium. Anyway, and some sweets. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna chill. Okay, so I remember writing this before. One of my biggest fears when it comes to being in a relationship again is losing myself. So it's a struggle for me since I want to be in a relationship and also community. I want to find community, but I am afraid that I do not know when to set the line, or set a line and where it's fine to give and when it's fine to not. So anyway, my biggest fear is just losing myself again when it comes to relationships, friendships, connections, and all that sort. So I remember asking that last year when I was in this really lovely connection with this really lovely man. I asked myself, how do you not lose yourself when you want to share your life with someone? Because that happened in my last relationship, and as beautiful as it was, I lost myself. And I don't want that to stop me from sharing my life with someone, because I want to share my life with someone, I really do. And I also want to share my life with other people. I want to build community. I want to have friends, connect with people, and in a community sense too as well. So yeah, that was my biggest question. And I was sitting on the lobby of my apartment today, and I noticed that my mind just went quiet. And that happened once before when I was sitting there, the same spot. I noticed that whenever I was there, my mind would just be quiet. So I looked it up, and it turns out that little cozy area, that little weird area that I sit on the lobby, is my liminal space. And it reminded me of this conversation I had with my friend before, when she was talking about reading this book about third spaces, or the third room. And I just want to emphasize the importance of that, especially when it comes to relationships with family, with a lover, with friends. It's so important that we have a liminal space, a third space, or a third room, whatever you want to call it. So that is how we get back to ourselves, despite, not despite, in the middle of all these connections that we have with other people. I'm sorry, I want to eat. No, I'm not going to eat. Okay, I'll have a bite. Cheers, my love. Oh, look how cute. I love the cheesy part. Okay. The importance of liminal spaces. So I talked about earlier, why is peace so lonely? Why does it have to be lonely? Well, I got my answer. It doesn't have to be. You can have both peace and connection and have the balance. For those, have the balance, yeah. And how you get the balance is finding and getting your liminal space. This is so beautiful. What we are discovering here together is so wonderful. And I'm discussing with you. Because I also talked about that with other people. I have this one friend where when we met, we all talked about how we all worked on ourselves, right? To work on our traumas and heal our conditionings and all that, and gain our peace back and come home to ourselves. Now, our biggest problems are trying to connect with people and trying to share our lives with people, because healing and peace can feel so lonely. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be. And we talked about how the cost of community is inconvenience. I think that's true. I think in any connection, in any relationship that we have, we're never gonna be completely at peace, no matter how much we love the other person. May it be our family, may it be our friends, may it be our lovers or partners or whatever. We're never gonna be fully at peace, because when two different types of people, or even the same types of people, come together, there will always be a clash. And if we want to form lasting connections, if we want actual genuine connections in our lives, we have to risk being inconvenienced by them. And I was also on Tumblr last night and I read this quote that says, "Loving someone means taking the risk that they might fuck up your nicely ordered little life." That's by Mark Haddon of A Spot of Bother. And I think that's so beautiful. And you know what, in this peaceful life of mine, I'm craving to have little silly fights with someone. Too much peace can be mind-boggling as well, you know. It can be mind-fucking. I'm not saying that I'm losing my mind, but sometimes I miss it. I miss fighting with someone. I miss the little teasing. I miss the little riffs, the little beefs, those little things. And I know when I'm in it that I'm gonna hate it and I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna be like, I don't want this. Because whenever my best friend would rant to me about how she would fight with her husband, I'd be like, I'm so glad that I'm single right now, but also I miss it. Honestly, I do. And I never used to like fighting. My ex and I never fought during our first few months together. And then when we started fighting, we couldn't handle it because we didn't know how to fight. I think it's so important that people know how to fight correctly. Not fight, maybe just have discussions or whatever. But yeah, fight. Because let's be honest, no relationship is ever going to be perfect. And if it is, I believe that there's something wrong with that relationship. And there was something wrong in that relationship. I thought it was perfect. We're never gonna fight ever, but it turns out that yeah, it wasn't real, and a lot of things were being held in, and a lot of things were just being swept away and pushed down when it should be discussed and opened with each other. And yeah, so back to liminal spaces, why it's important to have a liminal space. A liminal space is a space where we have no obligation. So when I was there and I was just sitting there, I was waiting for my food, my mind was quiet. And my mind was quiet because during that time and at that place, I had no obligation. I was no one in that place, you know. I wasn't a sister, I wasn't a friend, I wasn't a neighbor, I wasn't a partner, I wasn't anyone. I'd just be me. I had no obligation, I had no responsibility, and I was just existing. And that helped me get back to myself, get back to my center, regulate myself, and quiet my mind. And it helped me think clearer. And it helped me decide. It helped me realize what I actually really want and decide from a place of regulation and calmness and peace, instead of a place of craving, dysregulation, confusion, and all that. And yeah, I remembered when my friend and I were talking about it. I have this friend back in Melbourne who talked to me about the third room, the third space, and she was reading up on it because she loves her life, she loves her family, and her partner, but it can be a lot for her. But gosh, I miss her. And yeah, she's a wonderful soul, and she's amazing. Yeah, she had responsibilities in all aspects of her life. She had to take care of her partner because he's sick, and with her family she feels this really big pressure because she's the eldest daughter. And at work, you know, work is always just pressure filled. So she was reading up on it, and she taught me about third spaces and third rooms and how it's important before she faces her life at home, her family, or her partner. You know, after coming from work, she goes to this third space. You go to this third space before you face your family, before you face your partner, before you face your friends. And that's your way of filling up your own cup. That's your way of giving back to yourself and recharging yourself and just grounding yourself. It's not a means of escape or avoidance. It's just a place to be and quiet your mind. And the thing about third spaces and third rooms, it's important to just stay there for about 10 to 25 minutes max, you know, because your mind and your body would crave intensity after that. And if you stay in peace too much, your body would feel weird, because our bodies are used to chaos and dysregulation. So if you stay there too much, it can't be good too. So it's good to just start small, like 10 to 25 minutes is enough. And do not tell yourself that it's a means of escaping. It is just a means of regulating yourself, getting back to yourself, and just having a space for yourself where you don't have to perform, where you don't have any responsibility, where you don't have to do anything and just be. And that's how we keep ourselves while also keeping our connections in life. So this is just a discussion about third spaces. I haven't even eaten yet. This has filled me up. This conversation is already I love it. It's I love it so much. And yeah, I realized that a lot when I was living with my landlord. He's a beautiful soul. He really is. But I noticed things in him that I noticed his avoidant tendencies, and I could relate to that because I also have some avoidant tendencies, and I'm working on it, and I don't want to attach to it, so I want to be secure. I don't want to be that person. I do not want to be in a relationship and tell my partner, okay, I'm avoidant, you need to deal with that. No, I want to work on it, and I don't know if that's ever going to change fully, but yeah, there's something I can do about it, and I'm doing something about it. I see him, his life is very peaceful, but it can be lonely, especially when you try to push people away after 1, 2, 3 mistakes. Because let's face it, everyone is gonna hurt us. Even we hurt other people. Sometimes we mean it, sometimes we don't, but we're just humans, and that's gonna happen. There's no relationship that's gonna be perfect. Yeah. It's happened to me a lot in long-term relationships I've had with my parents, with my family, with my best friend, and all that. It was not a perfect relationship. They were far from perfect relationships, but we got our spaces, we took our spaces, and then we came back, and we're better. We're here again, and we're still here. And yeah. Wow. Because it's very hard for me to forgive. It was. I don't know how true that is anymore, but I used to be a 1-strike person or 3-strike person. Like, 1 strike, I'm not gonna forgive you, and that's it for me. I can forgive you, but I'm not gonna welcome you back in my life. Yeah, as I grew older, I noticed that made my circle smaller, and I'm fine with that. I'm at peace, and that's the thing. My circle smaller. But also, I think that my time with those people has ended, and it happens, some people are not meant to be with you forever and go with you wherever you're going, and especially you have to let them go when they're holding you back, when they're still living the same lives, and you don't want to be in that space, in that state anymore. And yeah, there's a big difference. But when you meet the right people, when you meet the people who are also working on themselves, who are also in the same path as you, they work on themselves, and they want they want to build lasting connections, it's not going to be perfect. At first it's going to be messy. Not even at first. I mean, if you are building actual lasting relationships, it's gonna require a lot of forgiveness, patience, and mostly regulating yourself. That's true. The main responsibility is with us. We can't expect to control or change the person. It has to start with us too. We need to do our best to be the best people, the perfect people for them. Not perfect, but yeah, the best people for them as much as we can. Because let's face it, you know, who are we to require other people to be perfect when we ourselves aren't perfect? But still other people accept us, but still other people care about us, check up on us, and give space for us. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lonely road. It doesn't have to be full of chaos. Just a little bit of chaos is fine, right? But yeah, unfortunately, that's the cost of love. The cost of love is inconvenience and the risk that they might fuck up your nicely ordered little life. Because yeah, when we want connections, we're gonna have to really risk that. We can have our routines, you know, we can have our set scheduled activities in our lives, but when we want to keep someone in our lives and when we want to work on our relationships with them, we need to insert them in our Google calendars. We need to cancel meetings for them. We need to file rain checks on our scheduled activities. We need to tell our bosses that we'll call them later because we're doing something important. We need to make space in our bed for them. And we need to turn on the heater for them even though we get really hot at night. My goodness. Anyway, this was about liminal spaces, so yeah. I can keep going about this. You know, we can ask them questions even though we don't really care. We can listen to their rants or listen to them yap about things they're passionate about even though we don't understand, and we never will. Good. I love love. Jesus Christ. Yeah. But again, not to the point that we are faking it. No, that's a different thing. We don't have to fake it. Reminds me of I feel like one of the most intimate form of love is not understanding, it's acceptance. Because I have a lot of people in my life where we don't understand each other, and I don't think we ever will, but we accept each other as we are. Like how my dad accepts me and the things I do and what I am and who I am, even though he'll never get it, he'll never get me, he'll never understand why I'm this way. And same with my best friend. We are so different from each other, but we accept each other fully, and we'll never understand each other fully. We'll never get some things that we are passionate about, but that doesn't matter. I love her with all my heart, and over all of me. I love her so much, and it doesn't matter. Despite, I love that. I always say that, and I always use it, and I feel like it's so beautiful, and it says a lot. And I didn't even eat. I wouldn't call this eat with me, but this is just me yapping. Goodness. What I'm saying, you know, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, it's not gonna be a cakewalk, but life is worth it. Love is worth it. Whoa. Anyway, look who's talking. Okay, I'm gonna have a visitor. Okay. This is brownies without sugar. I'm not gonna say that I am staying completely off sugar because I ate some crepes last night because I was on. I'm not gonna say why, because whatever. Because I'm craving sugar. And I do not want to enjoy life. Not enjoy life. But I'm being moderate about it. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. And this has been so heartening for me to share and talk about, and really, oh gosh, I was really excited to talk to you about this. Whenever I learn things, I want to share it with you, and I hope you might learn from it too. I used to be a really greedy person. I never want to share things that I learn because I'm an only girl, and I was never used to sharing, and I don't know, I used to not trust people, and I used to hate people, yeah, all those things. But no, we're supposed to love people. We're here to help each other, to walk each other home. Yeah, we're not meant to live our lives alone and just hate everything and be mad at the world. We can be mad. It's important to be mad as well, but for the right things. Okay, I'm gonna go before this is just so, it's been so lovely, and I don't know if I'm gonna call this a cozy dinner talk or an eat with me. I don't know. Yeah, with me. Anyway, I wish you a lovely coming home to yourself and a lovely walk with the ones you love. Cheers to love. Thank you for being here. I love you.